Hey guys, it is Margaret, and today I'm bringing you my April merch numbers and also some Q&A, some of the comments and questions I've gotten over the last month or so. And if you do have any more questions or video requests or things you need help with, leave me a comment in the description or the comment section down below, and I will do what I can to help you out. Whether or not I can answer that directly or if I make a video response, sometimes making a video response answers more people's questions than once in one fell swoop. Anyway, we can refer back to later. So anyway, let's jump in. So these are my numbers for April, and if you are following, if you're in any of the merch groups that I'm in, pardon me, Merch Minds, Merch by Amazon University, and also Merch Talk for Green Roomers, if you're in the green room. I shared that this month, just a few days ago, 3-4 days ago, is tiered up to the 2,000 tier, which means I can upload 30 shirts a day, which has been a challenge because 15 shirts a day was a challenge. So I am doing my best to make sure I'm using all of my spots while not just putting up garbage, if that makes sense. So I haven't finished filling my spots up today. But anyway, I guess we can talk about that, or I'll talk about that during the Q&A time. Let's just look at the numbers, and then I will talk about the rest of this stuff. So I'm going to scoot over and show you what I've got. Scoot. Alrighty. So this is my spreadsheet, and again, I'll talk a little bit about it, but I'll bring it back up in a minute. So I started last year. So I was probably approved maybe November, December. I can't exactly remember when. And then in January, I sold my first shirt. So one shirt sold in January 2016. So I guess this will come up again in a little bit, but a lot of people have been approved lately and are getting frustrated really quickly about like, I've only sold one shirt. I've only sold 2 shirts. If you look, like I am where I am now, but it took me a while to get here, over a year. Well, it took December. It took a year for me to make, clear 1,000 or more than 1,000. So it takes time, but it's something that I didn't get serious about probably until you can see March or April. And then once I really started getting serious about it and reading more and learning more and surrounding myself with people that were on fire about it, did I really start to improve, and things started getting better for me. Not to say that you aren't, but it took time, right? It just took time. And my first designs too, like my first designs are not up anymore, none of them, because they were just bad. I'm not even going to lie. So this is my snapshot for the year, this sort of corner of my spreadsheet. I have a very messy spreadsheet, but it works for me. So my January was, I sold 107 shirts. This is the profit. And then February, and then profit. March was 98 shirts, and then April was 164 shirts. So there was a bit of a slump after December, January, February, March, kind of slid backwards. But April was really good. I made over $1,000. The payouts haven't come yet. They come at the end of the next month. But from where I've calculated, that's what it looks like. So I plug in my numbers every day. So let me come over to my April numbers over here. So these are my April numbers. This is the days of the month. This is how I'm reading this. And so each night, or sometimes the next morning, I'll fill in the number of shirts that sold and the profits. And then also, this is to denote that I've done how many giveaways I've done. So 10 shirts sold, but 2 of those were giveaway shirts. So technically 8 shirts sold that day. So that's how I look at my spreadsheet. So 164 shirts sold for a profit of $1,072. So let's take a look at the merch. So here I have, let me slide this down so you can see this a bit easier. So these are the shirts that sold from March 1st to March 30th. So you can kind of get an idea. I know I'm not going to share with you necessarily the exact shirts that sold, but it becomes, for me, it became more of a numbers game. I know for some designers, they sell multiple of one shirt. But I think you just have to approach merch however is right for you. You know what I mean? I know I'm not a designer. I know I'm never going to be this. Well, I guess I could be if I wanted to. But right now where I'm at, it's not looking like I'm going to become awesome graphic designer, right? So I'm doing what I can do, and it seems to be working for me. So a lot of my shirt sales are one of this, one of that, one of this, one of that. And it becomes, like I said, a numbers game. The higher tier you're on, the more chances for generating sales from these particular shirts. And trying to spread a wide net, if that makes sense. I try to spread a very wide net of different genres. So I'm not just focused in one area, because that really narrows my field, or the field of vision, from having multiple people seeing my shirts. Does that make sense? I think it does. Okay. So, I mean, that's one of the things that I've had a few people pay me to look at their shirts. And one of the things that I noticed was one of the people was on the 25 tier and had a huge concentration of their shirts in one niche. And I suggested that, don't necessarily trash them, but just maybe think about taking some of them down, and because you're wanting to spread, you're wanting to tier up, you're wanting to get more sales. Try getting 25, or even half, 2 for each. So 20, 12 shirts or 12 genres. Try to spread it out to get more people to see your stuff. Okay. And then also, like, I made this mistake too, because I'm a reseller. Some of the first shirts I made were like garage sale hunter and, resale. They were like with what I was interested in. And you have to start thinking about who's going to buy this shirt. And resellers generally don't like to spend a lot of money. So they're not going to go, for the most part, not going to go buy the shirt. I'm sure that there is an exception to this, but not so much. Think about who's got money and who's paying for shirts. Anyway, so 5 shirts here on that one, then a lot of one-offs, 3, 7. I'm looking to see like which, I think I had one sell like 10 shirts, 9. Generally, yeah, that they're just 1 or 2 here and there. One of this, one of that, one of this, one of that. So yeah, this one sold 10, and a few returns or cancellations, which is fine. It's normal. It happens. So there you have it. So there's a lot of different shirts. I think I counted it up the other day. It was like it's way more than 47, 67. I can't remember now. So yeah, this up here is from not my sales. This is from this week or whatever. Number of sales this week. Okay, so what was I going to do? Okay, let's take a look at the questions that came in. So these are some of the questions that when I shared in the Facebook groups that I had tiered up, these are some of the questions that came through. All right. So Heather asked a question: when you applied, what did you say was your industry type? Have applied many times with 2 different accounts since October and still nothing. I can't remember, because when I first applied, I applied like once a week or every other week. I applied a lot. I don't necessarily think that works anymore, or if it worked then, it was a fluke, because Randy has been applying frequently and has not gotten in yet. I went back and forth between novelty t-shirt business and small business. And I do have a website. It's kind of like a big mess right now because I'm switching it over. But, there's a thing in there where it asks for a website. And then I suggested to Randy, just come up with a Blogspot web address. Even though it says optional, put something in there. I mean, that's what I told him. And then there's like a description box, what to put there. And I just put something about like, I strive to provide the highest quality t-shirts and customer service, blah, 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 blah. Just business gobbledygook. Yeah, that's what I did. So, all right. So Janet asked, I'm getting ready to work on a design now. Where did you say you can look to see if there's a trademark design? I use Trademarkia. I know there's another one that a lot of people use, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. Sandra asks, is there a link, or can I search Amazon, Google for Merch by Amazon? I think it's merch.amazon.com to go and apply to be to get in, and then you have to wait for who knows. It could be 2 weeks, could be 9 months for how long it takes to get in. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Okay, we talked about that. Additional information. And Craig says, I'm in the UK. I've made 10 designs now, the max I can make at the moment. I haven't sold a single one. Question, am I right in thinking that you tier up as you sell more designs? Generally, but somebody just got tiered up that hadn't sold that number. So I don't really know. Who knows, right? But again, another thing to think about as well is, if you've got 10 designs up and you're waiting, something you might consider, which is something Joe did, is that he would rotate design. So maybe one was not a hot seller, so he would take that down and put it up. And he really focused on seasonal things and like holidays and things that were coming up that would get more attention at that moment to try to get more eyes on your stuff. Even if it's saturated, it's something to think about. So maybe put one, I don't know what's coming up, 4th of July. 4th of July shirt up. Put up a, Mother's Day is coming, but it's almost here. So, things like that, just things that are trending. And then take it up, put it up, take it down, put it up, take it down. Now save it, because if it's a good design, you could save it and put it up again later. But I wouldn't necessarily just unless you think they're amazing designs, just put them up and wait for the, whatever it is, 90 days until they come down. So, and if you're watching too, I do a merch talk with Joe and Jeff, and sometimes we have other people come on and talk to us every Wednesday at noon Central Time. So if you're ever interested, come and listen to us. We're live and we take questions in the chat and just talk about stuff. So merch stuff, not just any stuff. Sometimes it's other stuff, but random. All right, anyway. Shannon says, I just started to have 10 designs, sold 5 pretty quick, and have been stagnant for over a week. I even did some sponsored pin advertising on Pinterest, but nothing. I just really want to get moved up in my tiers, trying to be patient. Yeah, again, like it took a while for me to get the ball rolling. So, it seems like, if you've sold 5, that's pretty good. So at that point, yeah, just, like I said, start looking at, is this the best design? Is it the best, have I used all the keywords I could use? That kind of thing. I've done some advertising and I have not found it to be, maybe, unless I'm just not doing it right. I've done some Pinterest. I've done some Instagram, not paid, just, like Instagramming. I've done some paid ones on Pinterest. I've pinned some of my shirts. What else? I've done an Amazon giveaways, which has drummed up a little bit. I don't know for sure though. There's no way to track it. That's the thing. Not exactly. Okay, so Sherry, I'm still stuck at 10, no sales. Switched out 6 designs with new ones this week. That's good. I'm patiently waiting because my eBay business didn't grow quickly either. Yeah, eBay. I've heard a lot of people saying it's been kind of slow. So Lester says, do you outsource your designs or do them yourself? I'm at 10 a day. I feel like I'm going to go crazy. 10 uploads a day. When I first started, I did outsource a couple times, and I wasn't happy with what I got back, and nothing that I paid for sold. So I just decided not to do that anymore and just do my own thing, and it's been working out okay. So, and I don't use Photoshop, and I don't use Illustrator. I've got a couple of videos where I show how I use PicMonkey and a couple other websites, and I'll probably be doing more of those because some people said I went too fast, so I'll slow down and try to go a little more slowly and show my process for creating a shirt from start to finish and how I list a shirt, how I research what I'm doing. So sometimes when I do that, I feel like it's tedious, but maybe it's what's needed. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm going too slow, or I feel like I'm just like, I don't know. I never want to feel like I'm talking down to somebody, but maybe, I don't know. Like I think it's what's obvious to me may not be obvious to everybody. I don't know. That sounds right. Whatever. So yeah, I do my own. So, and now that I'm at 30 designs a day, I'm trying to alternate between doing like a graphic and words and making a total design, and doing some that are just text-based, and doing some that are just graphic-based. So I think I have to do that just for my own sanity, because if I try to create something with the graphics and the font and the typography and blah, 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 doing 30 a day would just drive me bananas. So my thought process is to go ahead and do what I'm doing now, and then if I get to a point where I can't upload anymore, or I've met my goal, or things are being pulled down, then I can start pulling certain things down that are not the best and putting up something else. But again, I'm not going to put up anything that's just junk, right? So yeah, no. Anyway, so that's my thought process. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So today I've put up, I have 9 left. So I've done 21 shirts today, and most of them were just graphic based, just an image. Some of them were with a text and graphic. Yeah. So yesterday was more text and graphic. But as many of you guys know, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So on the weekends, it really bothers me to be working on work stuff with the kids at home. So my goal is to definitely try to get at least the ones for the weekend done in advance. So I don't have to do that when the kids are home because, I don't know, I don't want to take time away from them. And it takes time to obviously get 30 shirts up. So yeah, even when I was doing 15, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so next up. Kelly says, awesome, I'm waiting to get teared up from 10. I feel so stuck. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay. Okay, so Josh asked, what does a 7-day snapshot look like for someone who is on this level? And I shared that, and it was like, what is it right now? 7-day snapshot right now is like $324. Okay, so that's for me. But if you are Glenn Zubia, who has, maybe 1,500 shirts up. I don't know exactly what he's got up right now. It looks different for somebody like him because he's got a different, he's coming at it from a different place, or other designers, people that are designers, or maybe people that are doing other things as far as research and advertising. And so for me, it maybe is not a full-time income, but do I think it could be? I do. I think it definitely has a lot more to do with do I research? Do I know design? Do I, you know what I mean? So there's definite work that could go into it that I could be better. And it may look or somebody could be at the same level and doing worse than, not worse, because it's basically like free money to me. So, but could be making less and be at the same level. So it just kind of depends on the person and their approach and the way they attack it and the way they go about everything. So it just kind of, yeah. Somebody said, still not enough to live on. Not just somebody, Charles. Anyway, and then Ernie says, how long have you been on merch? So it's been since January 2016. And then also asked, how important are keywords and descriptions? There have been a few different people talking about this. One, I think they're important. So I don't do like keyword spamming and stuff like that, but I definitely try to get as many keywords and things that might be searchable into the keywords. I don't always fill out the description box. Sometimes I go back and forth about whether I should do it or not. Sometimes I copy and paste the keywords into the description. And I know Joe will sometimes just take a dictionary definition of what it is and put it in there. Whatever works, right? Also, the brand name for the shirt. Some people are wanting to build up their own brand. It all depends on how you're approaching this. Some people are like, am I putting Texas Gal Treasures as my shirt brand name? So if somebody wanted to buy one of my shirts, they could go see all of the shirts I have up, which is like 900 something shirts. How many shirts do I have up? So I don't put my name like Texas Gal Treasures or my brand name or anything like that for my brand of shirts. I try to put something else in there that, because it's a searchable field, that would bring in somebody else that was looking for that particular shirt. So let's say I have an owl shirt, then I might put something about, nocturnal animal shirts or owl shirts or birds of prey shirts or something like that, where it would be just another word that somebody else might be searching for that would pull up the shirt that I have up. All right, so those are my April numbers and my Q&A for what's been going on in merch for the last month. Tune in Wednesday for merch talk with myself and Joe and Jeff, and we'll see what I know Joe's trying to get somebody else to come on who's doing really well, multiple thousands of dollars a month, to talk about their strategies and things like that. So yeah, if you have not already, go down there and hit the thumbs up button. If you are interested in more videos like this about merch by Amazon, why not subscribe and hit that little bell next to the subscribe button to get notified when I put up new videos or when I go live, because I do frequently go live and take lots of questions and things like that. So again, thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.